brothers, but his father Jacob loved him most, a love he showed by giving Joseph a beautiful coat of many colors. The coat made Joseph stand out, a daily reminder of his father's special affection. Joseph was also a dreamer. He had powerful dreams that seemed to predict a future where he would rule over his family. He shared these dreams with his brothers, not realizing how much it would anger them. To his brothers, the dreams sounded arrogant, especially coming from the one already favored by their father. The combination of the coat and the dreams fueled their jealousy. The brothers' resentment grew, twisting their feelings for Joseph into bitterness. The coat became a symbol of everything they felt was unfair. The dreams were the final straw, planting seeds of hatred. Jealousy took root, and brotherly affection turned to rivalry. The stage was set for a betrayal that would change their family forever. Joseph's life was about to take a dramatic turn. The brothers' jealousy boiled over when Joseph came to check on them, wearing his colorful coat. They plotted to kill him, but Reuben convinced them to throw him into a pit instead, hoping to save him later. Joseph, terrified and pleading, was stripped of his coat and cast into the pit. As they ate, a caravan of traders appeared. Judah suggested selling Joseph instead of killing him, and the brothers agreed. Joseph was sold for 20 pieces of silver and taken to Egypt as a slave. The brothers dipped his coat in goat's blood and showed it to Jacob, who believed Joseph was dead. Jacob mourned deeply, refusing comfort. Meanwhile, Joseph was led away in chains, his world shattered. He had lost his home and family and freedom. All he had left was his faith in God. The brothers' betrayal set Joseph on a journey into the unknown. Jacob's grief cast a shadow over the family. Joseph's dreams seemed impossible now, but his story was far from over. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, captain of Pharaoh's guard. Despite his circumstances, Joseph worked hard and earned Potiphar's trust. Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his entire household, and everything prospered under Joseph's care. But trouble found Joseph again. Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him, but Joseph refused, loyal to both Potiphar and God. Angered by his rejection, she falsely accused Joseph of attacking her. Potiphar believed her and had Joseph thrown into prison. Once again, Joseph found himself in darkness, betrayed and alone. Yet even in prison, Joseph's integrity remained. He was learning to lead even in the lowest places. Joseph's journey seemed to spiral downward, but God was still with him. His faith was being tested and refined. The next chapter of his life was about to unfold. In prison, Joseph's character shone. The warden put him in charge of the other prisoners. Two of Pharaoh's officials, the cupbearer and baker, joined him in prison, each troubled by dreams. Joseph interpreted their dreams, predicting the cupbearer's restoration and the baker's execution. Joseph asked the cupbearer to remember him, but he was forgotten. 2 years passed, but Joseph's gift of interpreting dreams would soon change everything. God was preparing Joseph for a greater purpose. The dreams in prison were a key to his future. Joseph's hope endured, even in the darkness. He waited, trusting God's timing. The moment for his release was drawing near. Joseph's faith would soon open the door to freedom. His story was about to impact an entire nation. The power of dreams was about to be revealed. Pharaoh had troubling dreams no one could interpret. The cupbearer finally remembered Joseph, who was brought from prison to stand before Pharaoh. Joseph, giving credit to God, explained the dreams. 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of famine. He advised Pharaoh to store grain during the good years. Impressed, Pharaoh made Joseph second in command over all Egypt. Joseph was given authority, wealth, and a new name. When famine struck, people from all lands came to Egypt for food. Joseph's wisdom saved countless lives. Back in Canaan, Jacob sent his sons to Egypt to buy grain. The brothers bowed before Joseph, not recognizing him. Joseph's dreams were coming true. The famine brought his family to his doorstep. The stage was set for a dramatic reunion. Joseph recognized his brothers, but they didn't know him. He tested them, accusing them of being spies and demanding they bring Benjamin. The brothers, racked with guilt, believed they were being punished for selling Joseph. When they returned with Benjamin, Joseph was overcome with emotion. He tested them further, framing Benjamin for theft. Judah offered himself in Benjamin's place, showing true change. Seeing their remorse, Joseph revealed his identity. His brothers were terrified, but Joseph forgave them. He saw God's hand in his journey, using his suffering to save many lives. Joseph invited his family to live in Egypt, promising to care for them. The brothers' guilt was met with grace. Forgiveness triumphed over revenge. Joseph's family was reunited at last. The power of forgiveness changed everything. Joseph's family settled in Egypt, and Jacob's spirit was revived when he saw his son alive. Jacob lived his final years in Egypt, but asked to be buried in Canaan, the land of promise. Joseph honored his father's wish, showing deep respect and faith. Before his own death, Joseph reminded his family of God's promise to bring them back to Canaan. He made them swear to carry his bones with them when they left Egypt. Joseph died at 110, his body a symbol of hope for future generations. His faith pointed to a future beyond Egypt. Joseph's story became a foundation for the nation of Israel. Even in death, he trusted God's promises. The journey of Joseph's bones would echo through history. His life was a testament to faith in God's bigger plan. The legacy of Joseph endured. Before Jacob died, he blessed Joseph's sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Jacob crossed his hands, giving the greater blessing to the younger Ephraim. This act made both sons heads of their own tribes, doubling Joseph's inheritance. The tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh became powerful in Israel's future. Joseph's faithfulness brought blessing to generations. His story is one of faith, forgiveness, and God's sovereignty. What was meant for evil, God used for good. Joseph's ability to forgive came from trusting God's plan. His final request to have his bones carried to the promised land was an act of faith. Joseph's life reminds us that God is with us, even in our darkest moments. He shapes our trials into purpose. The story of Joseph is a timeless lesson in hope and redemption. God's promises endure, no matter how long the journey. After many generations, when the Israelites left Egypt, they carried Joseph's bones with them, just as he had asked. The bones of Joseph were finally buried in the Promised Land, fulfilling God's promise and Joseph's faith. Joseph's story ends with hope fulfilled, a reminder that God's promises are true from generation to generation.